Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Martin Cliff here. Welcome to Martin's Monday pedal playthrough. Now for this episode, I'm still in the UK, and it'll be a little bit reduced, kind of not a full episode, but I wanted to at least give you something. Normal service will be resumed in a week or two, but until then, here's a little bit of a look at one of the TC pedals that I had in the UK that isn't on my board here, so it will be going back to Bucharest with me. So if you'd like to see it in more depth with better amps that aren't making weird squeaking noises and more commonplace guitars, let me know in the comments down below. So today we're looking at the TC Electronic Corona Chorus. I've had this 10 years or thereabouts, I think. It was one of the two pedals I bought along with the flash back delay, which I then was able to claim the spark booster as a special deal that they ran back then. And I'm not the biggest chorus guy. I've only got this guitar to demonstrate with, and we're still tuned down to C standard. So it's maybe not as complete an episode as I would like it to be, but you heard it at the beginning. I've got both pickups on in split coil mode, and this is just kind of how I would normally have it. You have 4 knobs: a speed, depth, an effects level, and a tone. And I'll just, if I first of all crank up the depth. We're in TonePrint mode at the moment. I have no idea what TonePrint I've got beamed into it, and it's not really quite responding correctly to beaming TonePrints in. It's old. It was always a little bit unreliable. The more modern pedals are much more responsive at it. I don't know, I just think it was a technology in its infancy at the time. So let's switch to the classic mode, just the standard chorus, and see what that gives us. That's much more noticeable. Pull everything back to 12 o'clock in that mode. And it's that kind of typical chorus tone if we slow things really far down. Then it's very subtle. Obviously, if I was running in stereo, it would be kind of a widening effect. But certainly on really slow, it's a very subtle effect. But by the time you get up to about 11 o'clock, you start to notice the movement. And if I pull it up a little faster. What's the chord? probably in the wrong key. If you recognise that, well done. But can't remember what it's called. By the time you take it most of it, you get almost the kind of pseudo Leslie effect. Which I've heard some jazz guitarists, my mind wants to say John Scofield, I'm not 100% certain if that's correct, but I can imagine, yeah, with the kind of... It has a sound, it has a sound. You could crank up the level, or the depth at least. And it starts to become quite unpleasant and a little bit hissy as well. That might be the amp, it might be the pedal, it might be the guitar, who knows. Everything here is old, cheap and a bit decrepit. But let's keep the depth not all the way up. Let's go to 3 o'clock and take the speed back down. Now obviously the effects level control is a blend between the clean signal and the chorus signal. All the way up we don't get as much clean sound. It's not quite vibrato because there is still a little bit of clean sound going on to my ears, but it's certainly getting there. But maybe it is. Basically, a vibrato and a chorus are the same effect. The only difference is that a vibrato does not have any clean signal in, whereas a chorus does, and it's the slightly delayed, slightly out of phase signal blended with the clean sound that gives you the chorusing effect. So with it all the way up, it seems to be a vibrato effect, so why would you need a vibrato as well? And you can pull it down really subtle. Just to give it a little bit of depth. It would benefit from maybe some delay and reverb as well, but we haven't got any of that here, so we're just making do. But let's put it back up. I tend to run it about 10:30, 11 o'clock on this pedal. And now I'll take the depth down to about the same. And then I just set the rate to taste. Maybe around 12:31. And to me, a chorus always sounds better with single coil pickups. It's the only guitar I've got to hand, so coil splits are kind of as close as I get. But for me, the kind of chorus sound that I hear in my head and that I always try and emulate is that kind of John Petrucci clean, which would be a compressed, split humbuckers in the middle position. I don't have a compressor in the signal chain at the moment, but that kind of that kind of sound would be what I would be going for. I've got no interest in a chorus as a crazy effect, just something that widens a clean sound. The other option is this tri-chorus mode. So if I switch between the current one and I'll go to the tri-chorus, which is emulating the old Dynamo Piano tri-stereo chorus. It's a big Rat unit that Fulltone did a reproduction of a few years ago for crazy money. Amazing sound. Probably loses something in mono. Okay, all kind of weird noises going on here, but so it's just a different tone of chorus. Again, let's turn the level up. So what we've basically got there is 3 different choruses all blended together, which it's great in stereo. It just gives it a really fattening tone, but it's not a huge amount different in mono. Just a little bit more subtle. And then the tone just affects the tone of the chorus sound. Again, very subtle. But if you want to mellow it out, let's switch back to the normal mode. Definitely hearing much more. So just a little bit of a look at this pedal. Okay, it's a pedal I've had a long time, pedal I don't use very often at all. Works quite nicely for acoustic guitar as well, and bass. Certainly with the right tone prints. There are some interesting tone prints, just unfortunately the one I've got in this at the moment is rather feek and weeble. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Next week there will be one final video from here in the UK, and then we'll be back in the proper studio, and looking forward to that very much, and recording with the proper rig rather than this ghetto rig of whatever I've got left at Mum and Dad's house. Take care, see you soon.